Have you ever been in a relationship where someone made everything about themselves? Maybe you felt drained, controlled, or even like you're going a little crazy, and you're just starting to realize that the other person might be what's called a narcissist. Narcissists are a unique breed, often charming and charismatic on the outside but hollow, manipulative, and insecure on the inside. They are people who live for their own reflection, literally. It's like they're wearing a mask that's so tightly fastened that even they start to believe it's real. But here's the truth about narcissists. Despite all their apparent confidence and control, they have weak spots. Weaknesses that, when understood, can be leveraged to stand up to them, or even bring down their carefully built-up personas. Narcissists operate like emotional vampires. They pull their energy from manipulating, belittling, and controlling others. However, once you know where their vulnerabilities lie, you can defend yourself against their mind games, and if necessary, turn the tables. Today, we're going to reveal the 7 weaknesses narcissists desperately try to hide. These are the Achilles heels that, when you become aware of them, can help you protect yourself and potentially destroy the narcissistic influence over your life. Before we jump into these 7 weaknesses, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who might need help navigating a relationship with a narcissist. Let's get into it, shall we? The 7 narcissist weaknesses they don't want you to know. 1. Fear of rejection and abandonment. Narcissists are terrified of rejection. Despite their big egos, they're incredibly sensitive to any hint that they might not be wanted, admired, or needed. Deep down, they're terrified that people will leave them or see them for who they really are. Narcissists thrive on admiration and validation, but the moment they sense rejection, even the smallest gesture, their entire facade starts to crumble. Imagine what happens when they feel you're slipping away. They'll scramble to keep you close, often by manipulating you back into the fold. Understanding that fear of abandonment is a crucial weakness allows you to protect your own boundaries. You don't need to do anything extreme. Just staying strong and keeping a little distance when they're trying to pull you in can be enough to set them off kilter. It's all about showing that you're not reliant on their approval, and it sends them spiraling. 2. Their need for constant admiration. Narcissists survive on admiration like we survive on oxygen. They need to be admired, respected, and sometimes even feared. This craving for admiration is insatiable, which is why they often surround themselves with people who will feed their egos. However, it's also their Achilles heel. When a narcissist is starved of admiration, they feel insecure, weak, and lost. By simply withholding admiration, or not giving them the attention they crave, you can create subtle discomfort. Narcissists tend to lash out when they feel underappreciated. They may become more critical, or try to provoke you just to get a reaction. Knowing this, you can weaken their control by not taking the bait. Don't give them praise. Don't argue or react in ways that acknowledge their superiority. And over time, they'll feel the lack of supply. It's almost like starving them of the one thing they can't live without. 3. Their deep-seated insecurity. Narcissists may look confident on the outside, but the truth is they're plagued by insecurity. Their self-worth is fragile, and they're deeply concerned about how others perceive them. This insecurity drives their need for validation and their obsession with appearing perfect. Once you realize that their confidence is an act, it becomes much easier to see through their behavior and stay unaffected. One way to play on this insecurity is to subtly indicate that you don't see them as perfect or flawless. Avoid feeding into their need to be viewed as superior or the best. Narcissists can't handle even the hint of disapproval, because it threatens the fragile self-image they've worked so hard to maintain. Just a hint that you're not impressed can shake them, giving you control over the situation. 4. Their fragile ego and sensitivity to criticism. Have you ever noticed how a narcissist reacts to even mild criticism? They're notorious for their thin skin. Even the slightest criticism can make them defensive, angry, or even lash out. Narcissists don't handle criticism well, because it pokes at the lie they've created about their own perfection. Every time they're criticized, It feels like an attack on their very being. To leverage this weakness, you don't need to openly criticize them, which might provoke them in ways you're not ready for. Instead, you can make passing comments that don't directly confront them, but hint at imperfection. The idea is to make them question themselves without giving them enough ammunition to fight back. Subtle, indirect comments about something they've done or said can have a powerful effect, as it plays into their sensitivity and keeps them unsettled. 5. Their dependency on controlling others. Control is at the heart of a narcissist's behavior. They need to feel in control of the people and situations around them to reinforce their sense of superiority. Losing control over someone means losing power, and that's terrifying for a narcissist. This need for control is also a weakness. By asserting your independence and taking back control over your own decisions and emotions, you can put the narcissist on shaky ground. Refuse to react in the ways they expect. Narcissists want you to play by their rules, but by being unpredictable or setting firm boundaries, you show them they don't control you. Over time, they'll become frustrated and anxious, as they realize they can't bend you to their will. This lack of control makes them feel insecure and ultimately powerless. 6. The mask of superiority they hide behind. Narcissists go to great lengths to appear superior, smarter, wealthier, more talented than everyone else. This mask is carefully crafted, and they're terrified of anyone seeing through it. They need to maintain the illusion of superiority because it's the foundation of their self-esteem. However, once you see through this mask, you'll start to see how much of their behavior is an act. The superiority is a facade to cover up deep feelings of inadequacy. A way to disrupt this mask is to question things that don't align with their claims of superiority. For instance, if a narcissist brags about their knowledge on a topic, ask a few questions that challenge their claims without being confrontational. The cracks in their facade will start to show, and their confidence will begin to falter. By recognizing the mask for what it is, you stop seeing them as superior, which undermines their hold over you. 7. Their obsession with winning and being right. Narcissists have a need to win in every interaction. They have to be right. They have to have the last word. And they will do anything to make sure they come out on top. This obsession with winning isn't just annoying. It's a serious vulnerability. You don't have to argue with a narcissist or prove them wrong to gain the upper hand. You simply have to show indifference to their victories. By not playing into their competitive games, you take away their power. Don't feel pressured to respond to their provocations or correct their misstatements. When you refuse to engage, it undermines their need to feel superior and win. This non-reaction can drive them up the wall because it denies them the satisfaction of seeing you compete with or react to them. And that, for a narcissist, is the ultimate defeat. So there you have it, 7 weaknesses narcissists desperately try to hide. These aren't just minor flaws. They're the keys to understanding how to protect yourself or even stand up to their manipulation. Recognizing these weaknesses helps you take control of your interactions with them, setting boundaries, and removing the influence they hold over you. Thank you for watching and taking the time to understand how these personality traits impact the lives of people around them. Remember, you don't need to be a victim of their games. Awareness and knowledge are your best defenses. If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, and share this video with others who might be dealing with similar struggles. Stay strong and keep those boundaries firm.
Greetings, dear readers. We extend a warm welcome as you return to our platform. Today, our discourse delves into a subject of profound interest: the daily conduct of narcissists when faced with the decision of no contact. This intriguing exploration sheds light on the psyche of self-centered individuals and their reactions to complete cessation of communication. Whether your association with a narcissist spanned a brief period or endured through the ages, the choice of going no contact yields diverse repercussions, contingent upon the depth and duration of your bond. Our focus today lies in elucidating these intricacies, offering insight into the potential outcomes should you muster the courage to sever ties with a narcissistic counterpart. Upon severing all ties with a narcissist, their ensuing behavior follows a predictable pattern. They assign the responsibility of reconnection solely to you, absolving themselves of any obligation. Initially, they exude confidence, believing they possess the prowess to erode your determination, buoyed by the misconception of superiority over you and the misguided belief that your emotions render you susceptible to manipulation. They remain steadfast in their anticipation of your eventual capitulation, eagerly awaiting the moment when you extend the proverbial olive branch. Why are you so sure? Since they see you as the emotional, caring person, the one with a heart. For them, this means you are weak. They are hoping that your mental strength will weaken and that you will give in to their charms. So, it's very important to stick to your choice to completely avoid contact. It's exactly what it sounds like. No touch means no communication at all, no matter what. Whether it's their birthday or the birthday of their dear mother, with whom you get along well, not contacting them at all is a clear sign that you no longer want to be in a relationship with them. When you tell a narcissist you won't talk to them or contact them, don't expect them to lose sleep over your absence. Since they're not very good at empathy, your leaving won't bother them too much. Instead, they quickly change their minds and start looking for someone else to fill the hole you've left. Most of the time, they've been working on a backup plan while they've been with you because they hate the thought of being alone. They are always looking for praise and approval, so when you break up with them, they easily move on to the next person they want to date. It's possible that they've even thought of a few backup plans in case something goes wrong. Once they can't see you, they quickly start using their new supply, enjoying the thrill of the unknown while planning an escape route in case their latest project fails. During this time, your health doesn't really cross their minds. But if their relationship with the new source of support goes bad or doesn't work out the way they want it to, they might think of you again. For narcissists, closure isn't important because they like to keep their choices open. They would only think about running away during a terrible, chaotic fallout. Even though some of them don't come back, a lot of them do. How likely they are to come back depends on how bad the breakup was and whether you have something they want. If you have something they want, like sexual intimacy, money, a successful business, a luxurious home, or anything else they desire, they may try to get back into your life by doing things like hovering to get you to return to their orbit. This move is usually made when they are tired of their most recent victory or feel far enough away from their past mistakes to think you have forgotten about them. Think about this. You broke up with them because you caught them playing mind games or thought they were cheating on you. They find a new focus and decide it's time to come back into your life after a short break. It's time for the hoovering phase. All of a sudden, your email is full of notes like I miss you. Gee, how have you been? Jendi, long time no talk. It's a clear attempt to get you back in, avoiding the problems that made you pull away in the first place. For them, it's like nothing happened. Right now, you're struggling with the fact that the nice persona they used to put on was just a mask. Their big vows of a future together didn't come true, and it broke your heart. Because you chose radio quiet, you are now alone and don't have a backup plan. All the while, you are healing from the loss of a love you truly believed in. It's been a rough time since then, full of heartache, confusion, and the constant question of how they went from deeply loving each other to not caring about each other apparently overnight. Once they know they have you again, they stop making those sweet moves. They don't need to keep up the act if they already think they have your loyalty. This starts the search for new prey, which is an endless game where happiness is hard to find, even when things seem perfect with you. Think of their minds as busy markets that are always looking for new ways to get your attention while keeping you on hand as a safe backup. As soon as you find out about their schemes and cut ties with them, they quickly move on to a new target. They'll probably try to bring you back into their circle at some point, whether you know it or not. Do narcissists feel your absence during no contact? This is a question that comes up a lot. When you try to understand their mind, you find that it is very different from your own. They might remember the nice things you did for them, but they won't want you as a person or as their true love. If they loved you, They wouldn't put losing you to someone else at risk. Believe me, I've seen enough to know this to be true. It would be hard for a narcissist to give up someone they really cared about. Narcissists always put themselves first, even if they pretend to care or like someone else. They'll be so excited about their new source of attention that they won't even think about your well-being. Many people think you'll always be there for them, dedicated to them and never interested in another admirer. They seem sure that even though the link has been cut, you'll be looking forward to their return from seeking greener pastures. They keep telling themselves this story over and over again. Narcissists, on the other hand, are very upset when they find out that you're dating someone new. It's the harsh realization that someone else has taken over the attention they used to have. How upset they are depends on how busy their own life is. They won't even give you a second thought because they have so many fans. But when things are bad or you're by yourself, they'll try to get you back in a number of ways, from using sweet words to try to spark your sense of attraction again. When a narcissist tries to make peace, think about this. If someone really loved or cared about me, they wouldn't have put our relationship at risk in the first place. If someone was really interested, they would have tried to find an answer instead of disappearing and then showing up again later. If you tell a narcissist you won't talk to them again and they don't get back in touch for a long time, it could mean that their supposed connection to you wasn't as strong as they said it was. Don't forget that narcissists put themselves ahead of everything else. When they try to get back into your life, it's usually because they've failed elsewhere or still want you. They may see this as a chance to take charge or trick you again, so they're probing to see how easily you can be manipulated. Just talking to them shows that you might be willing to fall for their tricks. Think about the lies, manipulations, and possible betrayals that happened in past interactions. It's possible that they sold a skewed and false version of reality. Going back to talking to them will only make their bad behavior worse. They may sometimes use their physical beauty to try to win your love back, thinking that their charm will work just as well as it did the first time. However, physical beauty is not the same thing as real worth. It is possible for both narcissists and real people to have good looks. When they don't have any real traits, narcissists may use how they look to control other people. A lot of people give in to this temptation, moved by superficial charm and thinking about the possibility of getting back together. Keep in mind, though, that bringing a narcissist back into your life will only make the abuse happen again. Depending on how lucky you are, they might act differently for a short time, maybe a month or two. But the same problems will come up again at some point. They'll go back to ignoring you like they used to. If they are able to get you to give them another chance, they will probably keep managing you while keeping in touch with